Hey guys, STTM here, and in today's video, we are going to be talking about the Arizona Cardinals and finding out what direction this team is in. So yeah, guys, but before we get into it, make sure that you like, subscribe, put on notifications, and comment on the video, as it lets me know what you think, gets me more recommended, and if you put on notifications, you will literally be updated on the latest STTM videos that you do not want to miss. So yeah, guys, enough with the Japanese, and let's get straight into the video. Bow! So start off with their offense. I think it's pretty obvious, it's been obvious, that they're building this team around Kyler Murray. His best weapons are Trey McBride and James Conner. Despite being slow, James Conner is a decent running back, and Trey Benson and Amari DeMarcado actually are both pretty solid too. Michael Carter's even not bad also, so they got the running back scenario set on their offense. Kyler Murray, he is definitely a quarterback that runs a lot. He uses his shortness actually to an advantage, which has made him get pretty good numbers all through his stat line throughout the last couple seasons. And he has overall just gotten better with targets like Marvin Harrison Jr. and Michael Wilson and Trey McBride. Trey McBride, he had such a breakout year as a tight end. He was no doubt the first tight end off the board in 2022, and he clearly is the best tight end out of the 2022 draft class. Marvin Harrison Jr., he's not as good as other last year rookie wide receivers like Malik Neighbors and Rome Odunze and Ladd McConkey, but he is still a solid wide receiver one with potential. He did struggle in his first game though, as he didn't catch a single. He didn't get a single reception. He didn't catch anything in his first game. But he slowly improved like most rookies in this class. Michael Wilson, he was a steal out of 2023 draft. Trey McBride was a pretty good pick out of 2022's draft. Offensive line isn't great, but they got some good protection around Kyler Murray, like Paris Johnson Jr. Jonah Williams isn't bad, and I think Isaiah Adams actually does have a decent amount of potential. They definitely do need some improvements on their offensive line, as Kyler Murray can be pretty vulnerable to the front seven and defensive line at moments, at like a lot of moments too. So they definitely got to improve the defensive line. Offensive line. Okay, now we are going to talk about the defensive line. I think it's definitely improved. I'm not too sure on how Walter Nolan was going to work. When he got drafted, that was an absolute reach of a pick. So I'm a little nervous for how that's going to work. But they have Dalvin Tomlinson, who's pretty good. And Josh Sweat is pretty good. It looks like they're starting to give up on Zaven Collins. And not going to lie, I am too. I've defended him, but I'm starting to kind of give up on him. And sadly, I'm starting to give up on the BJ Ojulari. And I'm already starting to give up on Darius Robinson. There's definitely room to fix on the defensive line. Their linebacker core, it's not bad. Mack Wilson Sr., he's a nice physical back. Akeem Davis-Gaither was pretty good with the Bengals, and Baron Browning wasn't bad with the Broncos. It could be a lot better, though. If there is a player I liked a lot that they drafted, it was Will Johnson, and they also got Jalen Thompson and Budda Baker on their defense. Both these players are pretty talented. Jalen Thompson, he's short, but he works well alongside Budda Baker. He's also good at at holding his own versus wide receivers in the matchups. Budda Baker, by the way, he is a little similar to Jalen Washington, but a little bit older than Jalen Washington. He has regressed, I would say. I'm not gonna lie. Budda Baker has regressed, but he actually does have some better stats. And he was one of the best players in solo tackles, coming in with 95 solo tackles at second place in the solo tackles stat line. So that was pretty impressive. But he's not doing much as an actual person in the secondary. Starling Thomas, the fifth, he's okay. I wouldn't say he's a corner one or two, but he's a solid backup corner. I like Max Melton's potential. Who's Jalen Jones? This the guy from the Colts? Oh, no, he's just a random guy. I don't know who that is. Kei'Trel Clark, he's not bad too, actually. Denzel Burke might have some potential. Elijah Jones might too. This is an interesting secondary. Garrett Williams is actually pretty decent too. Garrett Williams actually got 2 picks, 9. He actually has a pretty decent stat line. He did get one. He had 2 picks and 9 pass deflections. That, I think, is the best secondary stat line that the Cardinals had last season. So there's definitely holes in their defense. There's a lot of big holes too. So it's not good defense, but I think it gets the job done. I'm going to head back to offense, though, because I actually want to give a further analysis on Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray, he was nearly top 10 in passing yards with 3,851, and he had a good touchdown-to-pick ratio with 21 TDs to 11 picks. And he had a top 10 QB rating with 66.5, which comes in 9th place for the QB rating. So I think he had a good season. And he's 5'10" with 207 pounds, having a short but able to hold his own build. And he also had his second, and in passing yards, by the way, too, he had his second highest career amount in passing yards. In 6 years, I think the Cardinals have a franchise QB, and he played all 17 games that season, too. And he was actually had one of his most accurate seasons with 68.8 completion percentage. That might have been the boost of having Marvin Harrison Jr. and Michael Wilson as his receivers, and also the Trey McBride at tight end. So overall, one thing I did not like, though, is that he had his second highest interceptions total with 11 interceptions, and his highest was in his first 2 seasons, which is 2019 and 2020, with 12 interceptions. That is the only thing I'd find bad, and he definitely got some sacks, but that's not really his fault for not being able to throw in time. He can throw in time. His offensive line just needs to be revamped heavily. Overall, I think they're in a direction to continue to build up and fill out the holes in the roster. They have kind of been there. They're starting to get to the point where they've been there for a while, but they really need to take their time to build up this. The front office really needs to build up this roster and take time. So, yeah. It may look like they haven't gone anywhere yet, but they will be there. They eventually will. They'll surprise people, all right? So, yeah, guys, let me know what you think about the Arizona Cardinals and their future direction down in the comments below. As STTM is now out, see y'all next time. Road to 500 subs!